House Minority Leader Representative Billy Bob Falkingham said the problems with the main care system are likely to cause a ripple effect through the state's budget.
We still have seen nothing of this in any of the budget proposals and any of the supplemental proposals, but the federal government is telling the state of Maine that almost $29 million is due back to the federal government.
Governor Mills said on Friday she believes the Trump administration's inquiry is predetermined and she is prepared for another legal battle.
If the Trump administration attempts to halt Medicaid payments, the Attorney General and I will not hesitate to see him in court to preserve critical health care for Maine people.
Grace Blanchard reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A women's health clinic in Bangor announced it will be closing its doors this summer due to staffing challenges, marking yet another loss for Maine's obstetric services. Down East OB/GYN announced Friday the practice will close officially on July 2nd. The owner, Dr. Christopher Rumsey, said in a social media post the recent loss of 2 physician partners and a midwife has left him on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Dr. Rumsey said this decision has not been made lightly, but the level of coverage is not sustainable long term. He also added that the primary challenge has been to the inability to recruit new physicians into the private practice setting. According to its website, Down East OB/GYN is the only private practice in Bangor that offers full panel obstetrical and gynecological care. Over the coming weeks, patients can expect to receive written notification of the closure. Rumsey says he will be joining Women's Health Care of Maine at Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center. During the high school basketball state championships, a wall in one of the Augusta Civic Center locker rooms collapsed with basketball players inside. Officials say it happened while they were preparing for a championship game. Fortunately, there were no serious injuries. Director of Communications and Marketing Haley Gavin says that the city's code enforcement officer has inspected other walls in the facility that were constructed similar. She says as a precaution, the locker rooms containing those walls have been temporarily closed until a structural engineer does a more detailed inspection. An engineer has been engaged to conduct a structural review. Gavin says the Civic Center is 50 years old and has never undergone a major full-scale renovation. The Maine legislature passed a bill in 2025 to adopt Eastern Daylight Savings Time year-round. However, this change is contingent on federal approval. While some welcome the return of extra evening sunshine, others want to see an end to the biannual disruption. We hit the pavement in downtown Bangor to hear some locals' take on the ongoing debate.
Well, I have little kids, so I kind of agree with keeping daylight savings time, just because when you fall back, if you didn't do that, it would be so dark at bus stops and for kids waiting for the bus early in the morning. So.
I come against it. Surgeon over at Northern Light, and definitely it's an adjustment to get up at different times for surgeries.
I know there's no real change in how much daylight there is, but it's nice having daylight late in the afternoon again. I enjoy it.
If we want to have longer afternoons after work, maybe we should just go to work earlier at a different time on the clock, On
ABC 7 News at noon, the war in Iran shows no signs of letting up soon. We'll have the latest when we return.
Car accidents can be scary. It can feel like the whole world is crashing down around you. You can't work, you've got expensive medical bills, pain and suffering. Absolute chaos. We'll take the stress and frustrations off your shoulders. We've done that for thousands of people, and we're ready to help you too. Hurt in a car accident? I'm on top of it. I'm your go-to guy.
Call 222-2222.
Carpets looking tired, stained, or just plain dirty? It's time to call the pros. At C&R Carpet Cleaning, we use deep steam technology to remove dirt, odors, pet hair, and allergens fast. Fresh, clean carpets, healthier home. That's the C&R promise. Visit our Facebook page for a free estimate or call us today, 631-7380. Step into clean with C&R Carpet Cleaning.
I'm an oyster farmer and a small business owner. Graham knows what it means to wake up at 4 a.m. with the rest of us. Sullivan needed a harbor master, Graham stepped up. Lobstermen needed help with their gear, Graham dove on it. That's just who he is. I don't see anyone like that in Washington. He cares. He gets Maine. He gets us.
I love every corner of this state and every person in it far too much to just stand by and watch it be ripped apart.
Graham will do whatever it takes to get the job done.
I'm Graham Plattner, and I approve this message.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street, or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
I watch Good Morning Maine because Craig Colson's been covering Bangor for decades.
In Bangor, I'm Craig Colson.
He knows this place. And Janessa Bishop, she's a Clifton native and Husson grad. She's telling our stories because this is home. They're serious about the news, but still feel like neighbors. From the coast to the county, if it's happening here, they've got it. Good Morning Maine with Craig Colson and Janessa Bishop. Weekday mornings at 7 a.m. on Fox 22.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The U.S. and Israel's war in Iran is now in its 10th day with no signs of letting up. Blasts are continuing around the region. ABC's Olivia Rubin has the latest.
Today, the war with Iran raging on, blasts seen across the Middle East. President Trump is demanding unconditional surrender from Iran, but state media reporting Ayatollah Khamenei's son has now been chosen as his successor. Trump telling Axios that's unacceptable. Now, the president telling ABC News he isn't ruling out sending in special operation forces to seize the country's nuclear stockpile.
We wouldn't do it now. Maybe we'd do it later.
But even without boots on the ground, the American death toll rising. The Pentagon announcing a 7th U.S. service member has died after being wounded in an Iranian strike on a base in Saudi Arabia on March 1st. They've now identified him as 26-year-old Sergeant Benjamin Pennington of Glendale, Kentucky. After the dignified transfer for killed American service members, the Trump administration determined to press forward.
But I want everyone to know your military is getting the job done, and every single day, this regime in Iran has less missiles, has less launchers, their factories work less, and their navy is being eviscerated. And the world is going to be a safer and a better place when this mission is accomplished.
And now, the U.S. saying it has intercepted encrypted communications, believed to be from Iran, that may be an operation trigger for sleeper assets outside the country, according to a government alert sent out to law enforcement agencies.
Everybody knew that this is the likely scenario. We go to war with Iran, we should expect that their proxies are possibly being activated, and we all need to be on heightened alert.
And that alert says there is no threat tied to a specific location, but it does tell law enforcement to increase their monitoring. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
2 teens have been arrested in what police say could be a potential act of ISIS-inspired terrorism in New York City. Officials say 18-year-old Amir Balat and 19-year-old Ibrahim Kayama, both of Pennsylvania, are accused of throwing and ignited improvised explosive devices near Gracie Mansion Saturday. That's the official residence of the New York City mayor. Police say on Saturday a group took part in so-called Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City. A protest drew a larger crowd of counter-demonstrators. At some point, officials say Balat and Qayyum threw devices during the clash. One of the devices detonated, but no one was injured. Police say a third device was found in a vehicle but did not contain explosives. The mayor condemned the act of the 2 teens, saying violence will not be tolerated in New York City.
Let me say this plainly. Anyone who comes to New York City to bring violence to our streets will be held accountable in accordance with the law.
Are awaiting formal charges. There's travel chaos at airports across the U.S. with a shortage of TSA workers causing longer security lines. Many TSA agents are calling out because they're not getting paid during the partial government shutdown. As ABC's Rena Roy reports, the shutdown is colliding with a busy travel time.
This morning, as spring break travel ramps up, chaos at multiple U.S. airports. Travelers facing hours-long delays during this partial government shutdown. Funding for the Homeland Security Department, which includes the TSA, expired last month, meaning TSA officers, for the second time in 6 months, are being forced to work without pay, prompting more agents to call out sick. That's causing delays of up to 3 hours in security lines, including here in Houston.
We got here at 10 a.m. My flight was departing at 1:50, and we're not going to make that here.
The guy said to me, "Heads up, it's a mess down there." And man, he was right.
In New Orleans, lines stretched through multiple floors and into the parking garage. The disruptions come as airlines brace for a 4% increase in spring break travelers compared to last year. That's nearly 3 million passengers expected each day. The partial government shutdown stems from a standoff in Congress. Democrats are demanding changes to immigration enforcement before they approve new Homeland Security funding. An organization representing airlines is urging Congress and the administration to negotiate a deal, saying America's transportation security workforce is too important to be used as political leverage. But now, a possible new logjam in Congress. President Trump says he won't sign any new bills into law until the Senate approves the SAVE Act. That's a bill that would require people show proof of citizenship and a photo ID in order to vote. Democrats claim it'll lead to voter suppression. Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Maine's commercial harvesters earned more than $619 million in 2025. That's according to a preliminary data released by the Maine Department of Marine Resources. Maine lobster harvesters landed 78.8 million pounds and again topped all other fisheries with an overall value of more than $461 million. However, inflation took its toll. DMR Commissioner Carl Wilson says when adjusting for inflation, the overall value of lobsters in 2025 was more in line with the value earned in 2008. Maine's soft-shell clam fishery was the state's second most valuable in 2025, with an overall value of more than $21 million. That's a jump of $6 million over 2024. After the break, we'll take you to an annual celebration of art and community in Bangor. We'll be right back.
I got hurt in a car accident. Why should I call the twos?
Because when you're hurt, you need money. And I don't take tiny checks. I get my clients big checks. I got a client who injured their wrist, a big check for $185,000. Another client broke their collarbone, and I also got them a big check for $400,000.
Don't take a tiny check for your car wreck. Call the twos.
Hurt in a car accident? I'm your go-to guy.
Thinking of updating my kitchen? Yeah. Yes. This year, we are finally updating our kitchen. Doing subway tile and an ivory or eggshell. Cream, maybe bone. Don't get me started on quartz. Big island. You ever heard of a waterfall county?
For everyone who talks about doing that thing,
and over there,
but never does that thing,
sweet little breakfast nook.
Chase has financial guidance.
See how you can start saving to make this happen.
Really?
Really?
Really.
At home or in person.
You could also check out a Chase Money Skills workshop.
That's guidance from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Who has the best kept secret in Penobscot County?
We do!
Welcome to Maple Lane Farms, a fifth-generation family farm that's committed to providing you with the best quality products. Our farm-raised local and sustainable meat is flash frozen to lock in the freshness and natural flavors. Experience the top-notch quality of our meat that's naturally raised without any antibiotics or hormones. Get the best of both worlds, quality and affordability. Try Maple Lane Farms today, the candy store for the carnivore.
Maine's rivers, our lakes, our life-giving wells. To ensure that our water supply remains clean and safe, Senator Susan Collins is leading the fight to protect this vital resource. She delivered millions to upgrade Maine's drinking water and wastewater infrastructure, keeping the quality of water as precious as Maine itself. So raise a glass and thank Senator Susan Collins for her leadership that goes beyond politics.
When it comes to your home, go to the source. Go to R&B's Home Source in Madison. R&B's Home Source has home comfort, convenience, and savings all wrapped up in one location. From the living room to the dining room to the bedroom, we have some of the best values in furniture and bedding. For the kitchen, R&B's Home Source has top-notch appliances from fridges to ranges, even washers and dryers. And sit back and relax with quality electronics. We service everything we sell too. For your home, go to the source. R&B's Home Source, Lakewood Road, Madison.
So often the best recipes are the ones that have been passed down from one generation to another. The ones that taste great and bring back all sorts of memories. Let me share with you a recipe that my grandmother made, which she called Hommentaschen. Us kids called them hat cookies since they look like little triangular hats. I remember she began by creaming together butter and sugar until it was light. Then she added a few eggs, and once those were mixed in, she added flour, a little bit at a time, along with a bit of baking powder and a touch of salt. Once the dough came together, she let us help her roll them into balls, and then we flattened them out, like this. In the center of each one, she'd carefully drop a teaspoon of canned prune or poppy seed filling. She said those were for the adults, and the rest of them she filled with our favorite jam. Then she pinched the edges up on 3 sides, so it sort of looked like a pirate's hat. And into the oven they went. I still remember her taking these out of the oven and us kids staring at them until she gave us the okay to try one. I do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for my grandma's triangle hat cookies so you can share one of my all-time family favorites. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen with Kelly, where today we found my grandma's special way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
What started out as a creative challenge among a few friends has blossomed into an annual celebration of art and community. Organizers of the February Art Challenge hosted their annual exhibit at the Bangor Public Library over the weekend. The idea for this year was to create a collection of collages, 28 artworks for each day of the month. Participants presented their pieces at the library with around 30 creatives taking part.
First year there may be 4 or 5 of us, and we kind of churned the ideas around, and so each year it's grown a little bit. And nobody knew each other, or very rarely, so it's a way to be reminded that there are people out there you may not know that may have something to offer you.
Information for next year's February Art Challenge will become available in January to tie creative impulses. Until then, Bangor Public Library hosts other art events throughout the year. When we return, Devin Biggs has your 5-day forecast.
What I love most about Maine are the people. I have never met a people who are more hard scrabble, even in a place that requires you to work like 2 or 3 different jobs. We have watched this state become essentially unlivable for working class people, and it makes me deeply angry. I'm Grant Plattner, the Marine Corps veteran and oyster farmer running for Senate in Maine to defeat Susan Collins. I did 4 infantry tours in the Marine Corps and the Army. I'm not afraid to name an enemy. It's the billionaires and the politicians who sell us out. Susan Collins has been in charge and making policy and decisions the entire time that things have been getting worse for the working family. Nobody I know around here can afford a house. Healthcare is a disaster, hospitals are closing. We need a government that works for people like us, but you're supposed to fight for the things you love. This is our home, and I will fight tirelessly for it, for you. For me, it's Mainers first, in Maine, always. I'm Grant Plattner, and I approve this message.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brew.
Let's check your full forecast with Devin Biggs. Devin?
Alrighty, Susan, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Alrighty, here we go. We have a winter storm watch that is up across the northern parts of the state and now will last until around 11 a.m. as we head towards your Thursday for rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow that will be on the way for these areas, and the ice accumulations will be a concern. We also have a small craft advisory that is up until Tuesday at around 8 a.m. along the coast, so something that we'll need to keep an eye on as well. Wave height's not too bad at this point at around 3 feet according to the buoys. A little bit active further off towards the north and east as well. We also have 5 to 7 foot wave heights being noted farther out towards sea at this point too. Meanwhile, we have clouds tracking in from the west going toward the east. Overall, a partly to mostly cloudy sky will be observed across our neck of the woods today. We have a system located in Canada at this point tracking towards the east-northeast, so no precipitation to worry about for us, but we'll have the clouds from that system that will be passing through. So today and tomorrow we will be dry, but we will have that main system prompting the watch that will be moving in. We'll get the first little bits of it as we head towards your Wednesday. Notice it continues in late Wednesday and parts of early Thursday morning. A lot of pink right there. That's that wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow. So again, definitely concerned about some ice right there too. While farther down toward the south by Bangor, primarily rain, and we could see some details shift with that as we do move forward in time. We'll get the system out of here as we head towards your Thursday. So overall, again, gusty winds will be a concern, reaching up to 25 to 30 miles per hour today. The winds will start to relax later on tonight. So for today, though, mid-50s, mostly cloudy and windy, and that south wind getting up to about 30 miles per hour. Overnight, low 30s, partly cloudy and breezy, and that southwest wind at about 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, low 60s. That will feel nice, mostly sunny. South wind at about 5 miles per hour. And let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center. That wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow Wednesday. Highs in the low 40s, low 50s Thursday with a chance for rain. Mostly cloudy Friday, highs in the mid-30s.
Thank you, Devin. Alaska's legendary Iditarod sled dog race kicked off Saturday. The 1,000-mile race marking its 54th running. Snow was falling in Anchorage as 37 teams mushed through Alaska's largest city in front of thousands of cheering fans downtown. The route takes mushers over 2 mountain ranges, with winners expected to reach the city of Nome sometime the week of March 16. And a German zoo shows off 3 new lion cubs to visitors this week. The Cologne Zoo unveiled the 3 Asian lion cubs to the world last Thursday. The 3 cubs, 1 male named Zone and 2 females named Riva and Prija, were admired by visitors in their outdoor enclosure for the first time. 9-year-old father Navin and 11-year-old mother Gina didn't seem too concerned about all the attention for their babies. The zoo says Navin and Gina were stellar caregivers and take to their roles well. The 3 cubs, who were born in November, weigh between 26 and 28 pounds. According to the zoo, while they're still on a diet almost exclusively of milk, the zoo says the cubs are starting to show an interest in meat. That's all for ABC 7 News at noon. Thanks for watching. I'm Susan Farley. We'll see you on ABC 7 News at 6.
Is your Maine issued license or ID expiring soon? Good news. You may be able to skip the trip to the BMV and renew it online, including if your license or state ID is Real ID compliant. Visit maine.gov/SOS/BMV today to find out if you're eligible to renew online. Brought to you by this station, the Maine Association of Broadcasters, and the Office of the Secretary of State.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
The following is a paid program for CarShield, America's most trusted auto protection company. Stay tuned for a few Hollywood icons like Eric Estrada, Ice-T, Vivica A. Fox, and learn how you could save money on car repairs with one phone call to CarShield.
Cars sure have changed from when I first started driving. Just look at